Hey folks, it's Helios. I thought this year about trying something new. You see, what I do is after some games, usually a Michigan football or basketball game, I would post a series of tweets that would basically give my thoughts as to how the team played, and I decided I might try to do a video format because it would be a lot easier for me to not only convey my thoughts, but also to bring down the number of people whose phones blow up my constant tweeting. So, this game against Notre Dame. A lot of talk about, yeah. Not only did Michigan lose for the last time, for the last scheduled game, for the foreseeable future against Notre Dame, but they got shut out 31-0. And this is the first time this has happened since 1984. So, right now, Michigan fans everywhere are wondering one thing. Just what the flying fuck happened? Well, to me, this just seemed like one of those games where everything that could have possibly gone wrong did go wrong. Now, Brady Hoke said in his presser that, Notre Dame played a good game and we didn't. And, it's kind of tough to get more obvious than that. Yeah, it's kind of hard to eloquently describe just what went wrong, because it's not like these guys didn't show up. They certainly did. I mean, they were out there making plays. I mean, Garner, he wasn't terrible, but he wasn't good either. He was okay, but you can't really be an okay quarterback if you expect to win at this level. The defense was there, but it seemed like they were a step behind every night. Offense simply wasn't clicking. Funny enough, they actually had the ball longer than Notre Dame and generated more offensive yards than Notre Dame, and yet they couldn't score a single point. Now, how does that happen? I don't know. That's a very good question. I'm sure Doug Nussmeier is asking himself that same question right now, and it would be in his best interest to find the answer quick, fast, and in a hurry. It's hard to really blame one single person for what happened tonight, because there were problems just about everywhere. Like I said, Gardner was okay. He had two big mistakes. That would be this first interception and the fumble. I'm giving him a pass on the second interception because that was just a really good pickoff play, no matter how you look at it. And I didn't see the pick six at the end, but that wasn't technically counted as a pick six. But I'm telling him to, I was like, you know what? End of the game. Who cares? But yeah, the first interception, he pretty much threw it to the defender right in the middle of the field. And the fumble, he held on to the ball for way too long. And he had, I think, one or two receivers open as well. That is unfortunately still, he's shown that he is a little bit better with decision making, but he still holds on to the ball a little bit too long. So he needs to work on that. He needs to get better. What happened there was simply inexcusable. Devin Funchess, Devin Funchess had an okay game right up until it looked like he got banged up. But Garner apparently got banged up as well, but apparently he's fine. Funchess seemed to be okay too, so, we have that. We'll know more, of course, in the next couple of days. But, he had I think, about 7 or 8 receptions for about 100 yards. I really don't know why they didn't throw to him more, because it was very clear that Notre Dame was having trouble against him. He's easily the best wide receiver. Running game, unfortunately, still a work in progress. Both Smith and Green had decent carries, but they couldn't make anything happen. When they found holes, they were able to get some good yardage, but unfortunately, they missed the holes more often than not. Offensive line was unfortunately about as bad as we expected, but again, these guys are young and they're going to get better over time, so work in progress, understandable. It's unfortunate they couldn't really get the job done tonight, but they will learn over time. They'll get better. Special teams, field goal kicker, Matt Weil. I understand that field goals aren't really his specialty, but tonight he was awful. Just plain and simple, he was awful. I mean, it was so bad that I was worried that Doug Nussmeier had brought Alabama's kicking game with them when he came here as well. yeah, he's got to do better there, plain and simple. Defense, it seemed inconsistent. I mean, there were times when they made some really great defensive stops, like maybe toward the end, where they actually able to get some good sacks in on Notre Dame's QB. But it seemed they were very inconsistent. Like 1 minute they were there, the next minute they weren't. Notre Dame's wide receivers just gave them trouble all night. They couldn't defend them. Our secondary looked awful. Blake Countess, Frank Clark, they didn't show up. Though, to Clark's credit, they did have some tackles for loss. Jake Ryan still looked kind of like Jake Ryan didn't have much of an impact. Raymond Taylor went out with leg injury. That was a pretty big blow, and from my understanding, injury could be pretty serious. We'll know more, obviously, soon enough. Jabril Peppers, we were told he would play in this game. He didn't even come on the field for a snap, so perhaps there's more to the injury than Michigan's letting on. We don't know. Either way, the defense certainly did not do a good job tonight, plain and simple. And again, not because they weren't trying, they were certainly out there, but it was out there for like a flash. Like 1 minute they were there, next minute they were gone. So defense has got to do better. It's got to be more aggressive. Like we saw what they could do, like in the Appalachian State game. We know what this defense is capable of. We know it could be in your face. It could be a real headache for quarterbacks as well as running. But it's got to do better. It's got to lock itself down. It's got to be more consistent. And I understand that having 3 of your starters out tonight certainly hurt that. So I anticipate that, when those players get healthy and the current defensive linemen mature, over time the defense will improve as well. So yeah, I mean, like I said, it was just a game that basically everything that could have gone wrong did go wrong. And unfortunately that happens sometimes in sports. Sports, they aren't fair. I mean, sometimes you can go in and have a really close game. Sometimes you can just have nothing go right for you. That's basically what happens. Doesn't mean I'm giving Michigan a pass for what happened, though. Doesn't mean I'm not going to hold them accountable for posting up a result that simply is unacceptable for this program. Okay? This is the first time in my life that this football team has failed to score at least a point. Okay? That is unacceptable. It cannot happen again. But here's the reason why I'm not really getting too down on this. This is the reason why, and I'm looking at Twitter right now. I'm seeing a lot of people jumping on the Fire Hoke bandwagon, which is, the tradition lately after Michigan loses for a variety of reasons. But it's second game. It's the second game. And I know we like to pretend that Notre Dame isn't a good team. And to be fair, they probably are ranked as high as they are in the FBS by accident. But, they're ranked. There's a reason that they're ranked, and there's a reason that we're not ranked. And I don't think this was as much a case of Michigan giving the game away or blowing the game as it was just Notre Dame just rising up and taking it, not even giving Michigan a chance to get into it. I mean, let's face it, we got to give credit where credit is due. We just got to admit that tonight we went to South Bend and Michigan got straight up run down, beat down, outplayed, outcoached, and just straight up punked by a superior team. It's just that simple. Now, that doesn't excuse the result. You would expect them to at least put up some fight. I mean, I saw a team, like I said, it's not like this team didn't show up, they did, but they also looked spent at the end of the third quarter. So, and considering the comeback that was engineered in 2011 at the Big House, that's saying a lot. But again, it's second game. There's still plenty of time to correct this. And it was non-conference, so, there's still a chance that Michigan could make a good run in the Big Ten. And I'm only saying that because the Big Ten looked really pathetic today, I'm not going to lie. I think right now, the only good team in the Big Ten, and as much as I hate to say it, is Michigan State. And Michigan may be the team that is, after Michigan State, it's a matter of which team is, I think, the least bad at this point. But, it is what it is. And we all knew that Michigan was not going to be heading for the BCS playoff and like that. We knew that. It's still not where it needs to be. We're just hoping that this can be an improvement for last year, which is a fair expectation. I mean, all the hype that went into this year, it is reasonable to expect that this team is going to get better. And I think it will get better. I think, I know if I know the character of the men on this team, then I know they'll use what happened today as a motivation to do better. They'll say, listen, we went in here, we played a terrible game, and we're not going to let that happen again. We are not going to go out like that again. And they'll learn from their mistakes. They'll say, we got to do better, and they'll work hard to do better, and we'll go forward. I mean, again, it's only the second game. I mean, Michigan can still finish, 8-4, 9-3, even 10-2 or 11-1. We don't know. Now, I said at the beginning of the year, and I'll say it right here again, if Michigan doesn't go at least 8-4, I think Brady Hoke is gone. But again, given their schedule and the sorry state of the Big Ten, I think it's still a pretty good chance they'll go at least 8-4. But it's all just semantics for me, all just talk for me. The only people who have any control over the result are the players on that field. So what happens next is up to them. Okay, so that's it for this little summary. Thank you for watching. Hopefully we'll be back next week with a bit more positive. Until then, good night and go blue.